Let me tell you something. When we talk about showing up for ourselves, it's not just about getting up early, grinding hard, and chasing goals. It's also about taking care of what's going on inside. Yeah, I'm talking about your health, your real, internal, physical health. And today, I want to bring up something a lot of people shy away from: your prostate. Because if you're not protecting it now, you might be gambling with your future and you don't even know it. Now, listen, this isn't just random talk. Science backs it up. Regular ejaculation, even through masturbation, has been shown to have a powerful effect on prostate health. We're not just out here for release or pleasure. We're talking about reducing the chances of something serious: prostate cancer. Researchers have looked into this, and what they found: men who ejaculate more frequently, say 21 times a month, have a lower risk of developing prostate cancer than those who don't. Not slightly lower, significantly lower. That's not coincidence, that's a pattern. But here's the deeper message. It's not about the act alone. It's about consistency, discipline. It's about being proactive instead of reactive. So many of us, we wait until something's broken to fix it. We wait until the doctor gives us a diagnosis before we start caring about our body. But your body, it's giving you signals all the time. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss the opportunity to protect yourself before the damage is done. Think about it like this. Your prostate, it's part of your engine. And like any engine, if it's not being used, maintained, and flushed out, it starts to get clogged. That backup, those toxins, those proteins, that stagnant fluid can build up over time and cause inflammation. That inflammation is what starts the process of damage. So when you release regularly, you're not just relieving stress, you're cleaning the system. You're getting the gunk out, you're lowering the risk of harmful buildup. I'm not saying you use this as an excuse to do it all day, every day. Nah. I'm saying you be intentional. You be strategic. Just like you plan your workouts, your meals, and your hustle, you plan how you take care of your body in every area. And if you're serious about living a long life, if you're serious about being around for your kids, your goals, your legacy, then this can't be something you ignore because it's awkward or taboo. We talk a big game about legacy, but what kind of legacy can you leave if you're not here to build it? How can you grind? How can you push? How can you lead if you're sidelined by something that could have been prevented with a little attention to your own body? Prevention is powerful. Prevention is manhood. Prevention is responsibility. So don't be embarrassed. Don't joke it off. Don't let people around you tell you it doesn't matter. It does matter. Taking care of your prostate isn't just a medical decision, it's a life decision. It's part of the work. It's part of the commitment. And real men don't run from responsibility. They show up for it every single day. Take care of your body now so it doesn't take you out later. You ever notice how the body and the grind got something in common? They both run on rhythm. They both run on flow. And when something's out of rhythm, when it's blocked, when it's tense, when it's backed up, you start feeling it. You don't even need a doctor to tell you because your body speaks. The question is, are you listening? Let me break it down. Your hormones, they control how you move. Your energy, your mood, your focus. Testosterone plays a huge role in that. And daily masturbation, it's not just about what happens in the moment. It plays a part in keeping that whole system in check. When you do it in moderation and with intention, it helps regulate testosterone levels, keeps things balanced, and supports circulation where it matters most, especially in your pelvic region and your prostate. The prostate is like the silent worker. You don't think about it much, but it's involved every time you ejaculate. And if you're going days, weeks, even months without release, that buildup can turn into pressure. That pressure can turn into discomfort. And over time, it can turn into bigger issues. But when you're consistent, you're keeping things moving. You're keeping the engine running smooth. You're flushing the pipes. You're letting your body do what it was built to do. People think health is just about eating broccoli and hitting the gym. That's part of it, yeah, but it's bigger than that. It's about what's flowing through your system. You want to perform at your highest level? Then your circulation has to be on point. Blood flow is the fuel line. If your pelvic region is stiff, tight, or blocked up, It's going to affect everything: your drive, your clarity, even your ability to show up fully in relationships, in work, in life. That tension down there, it's real. And over time, it becomes something you can't ignore. Now, I'm not saying go crazy and make this a habit that controls you. That's not power, that's addiction. We're not talking about losing control. We're talking about taking control. You hear me? We're talking about using daily masturbation, when done responsibly, to support your system. Just like a daily walk clears your mind, just like journaling gets your thoughts out, this is about creating health where there might otherwise be stress and stagnation. Because here's what happens when you don't pay attention: that hormonal imbalance, that blood flow issue, that pelvic tightness, it all builds up. You feel off. You lose that edge. And most of the time, men don't even know why. They just know they don't feel right. They're tired, they're foggy, they're irritated, they feel stuck. And it's because they've neglected a part of their body that matters. But when you take ownership of it, when you make your health a priority, not just the stuff people can see, but the stuff they can't see, that's when everything changes. That's when you stop reacting and start creating. That's when you stop surviving and start thriving. Your body becomes a tool, not a burden. You stop dragging through life and start driving through it. Don't ignore what your body's whispering just because the world doesn't talk about it loud enough. Tune in, show up, and stay in flow. Because when your body flows, your life flows. Now let's keep it real. Just like anything in life, too much of anything can flip the script. We talk about the benefits, we talk about the power of being intentional with your body, but we got to talk about the other side too. Because if you're not careful, if you're not self-aware, daily masturbation can cross that line from healthy release to unhealthy routine. And if you're crossing that line, you're not helping yourself, you're hurting yourself. Straight up. See, we live in a world that's got everything at your fingertips. At any moment, you can pull up a video, a site, an image, and get that quick hit of pleasure. But here's what happens. When you start chasing that quick fix every day, without thinking, without purpose, without boundaries, it becomes less about your health and more about escape. You stop using it to take care of yourself and start using it to avoid yourself. And that's where the danger creeps in. When something turns from discipline into distraction, you've got a problem. And yeah, even masturbation can do that. You start depending on it, you start needing it just to feel normal, just to get through the day. That's not power, that's dependence. And let me tell you, anything you need just to function is something that owns you. You don't run it, it runs you. And physically, overstimulation is real. Some of y'all out here doing it so often that your body doesn't even get a chance to recover. You start feeling raw, sore, tense. You notice discomfort in your pelvic area, tightness in your lower back, even a drop in your natural desire. That's not nothing. That's your body raising the red flag, telling you, hey, I need a break. But if you're not listening, if you're just chasing that next high, you'll miss it. You'll ignore the warning signs and end up wondering why your body isn't responding like it used to. It's like driving a car with no oil change, no rest, no checkup. You keep going and going, pushing harder, faster, longer, and then one day, boom, the engine gives out. Same thing here. Your nervous system, your pelvic floor, your reproductive system, they're not built for nonstop pressure. They need time to restore, time to reset. But if you're caught up in a loop, you're not giving yourself that chance. And mentally, don't even get me started. Because once it becomes compulsive, you start messing with your own mind. Your confidence dips, your focus gets shaky. You lose time you could be using to build your dream, invest in your purpose, connect with real people. And worse, you start hiding. You start lying to yourself, telling yourself it's no big deal, when deep down, you know it's not coming from a place of strength. This is where you have to check yourself. Not with guilt, not with shame, but with truth. Be real about why you're doing what you're doing. Is it serving you, or is it stealing from you? Is it helping you grow, or is it holding you hostage? You got a life to build, a purpose to walk in, a mission to fulfill, and anything that's getting in the way of that, even something that started out with good intentions, needs to be reevaluated. You don't have time to be stuck in cycles. You don't have time to be distracted by something that leaves you feeling emptier than before. You've got to rise above that. Control your habits, or your habits will control you. Let's bring this thing home, because after everything we've said about the science, the flow, the discipline, none of it means anything if you don't learn to live in balance. You hear what I'm saying? It's not about just doing something because you heard it's good for you. It's about how it fits into your life, how it supports your mission, how it makes you better, not just in one area, but across the board. See, too many people, they think if something is healthy, more must be better. Nah, that's not how it works. It's not how your body works. That's not how life works. Just like in the gym, you can't train legs every day without recovery. You can't grind 24/7 without rest. You can't pour out without being filled back up. And when it comes to your sexual health, including daily masturbation, the same principle applies. It's part of a bigger picture. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. This isn't about just one habit. It's about how all your habits line up to build the kind of man you're trying to become. You can't just focus on release if your diet is trash. If you're not sleeping, if you're sitting all day, drinking soda, scrolling endlessly, and hoping one healthy habit cancels all that out. That's not real. That's not how winning happens. If you want long-term health, real longevity, you've got to be intentional about everything. Exercise, clean eating, hydration, managing stress, checking in with your doctor, being honest about how you feel, what you need, and what's working or not working. Most men won't do that. Most men wait until something breaks down before they pay attention. But that's not going to be you. Not after today. You don't wait until you've got a prostate problem to care about your prostate. You don't wait until your body fails to try and save it. You get ahead of it. You take ownership. You lead yourself before you try to lead anybody else. That's what this is about. Being proactive, being wise. Not living by impulse, but by purpose. And yeah, maybe that means some days you don't need to masturbate. Maybe that means you take a day off. Maybe that means you check in with your body and say, is this serving me right now? Or am I just doing it out of habit? You learn to hear yourself. You learn to listen. Because when you're in tune with your body, when you've got that awareness, you stop doing things just to do them. And you start doing things because they help you become better. And if we're being real, better is the goal. Stronger, sharper, healthier. You want to be around for your kids, your grandkids? You want to keep building, creating, dominating in your space, not just in your 20s or 30s, but in your 50s, 60s, and beyond? That doesn't happen by accident. That doesn't happen just because you got good genes. It happens because you made decisions now that your future self is going to thank you for later. So yeah, masturbation, when it's balanced, when it's part of an overall healthy lifestyle, can be a useful tool. But it's not the answer. It's not the foundation. The foundation is self-control. The foundation is purpose. The foundation is building a life that supports the whole you, mind, body, and spirit. Don't just chase moments. Build momentum.